So I want to take just a couple minutes and talk about something really important, and that is writing out your pitch. If you don't have your door approach written out, customers are going to be able to tell if you're shooting from the hip or just winging it at their door. And so it's very important to have some sort of summary or outline of your pitch written out, so that way you know how to transition from point to point at the door and then get inside of the house. So one thing that I did specifically my first year, and one thing we always encourage rookies to do, is have your pitch with you out while you're knocking. Reason being is sometimes when you're out there knocking doors, you can go for a couple hours of just kind of getting your butt kicked by the customer, and you'll end up being lost because you're trying to do too many things at the door and you're getting away from the basics. There's nothing wrong with having a customer maybe shut you down, and as you're going to the next door, looking down at your outline and thinking, okay, where did I get stuck? Was the transition bad? Was the deal portion kind of confusing to the customer where they didn't understand? Or honestly, did I just kind of blow it and they didn't know who I was or even what I was doing or why I was knocking on their door? A lot of sales reps wait till they're on the doors to kind of figure out their pitch. But I think if you take a few hours or even 30 or 45 minutes and really just invest in yourself before the meeting, after the meeting, with your roommates, with your manager, and if you have that pitch down, it's gonna pay huge dividends once you're out in the area. So I'm gonna help you guys out by giving you a really easy outline to follow when you're doing your pitch. And this could be for a takeover, or this could be for a new installation. So for the first part, it's just the introduction or breaking preoccupation with the customer. For me, I just want to answer the two questions of who I am and why I'm knocking on their door. The second part of the pitch is you just want to let them know the deal, right? What's in it for the company and what's in it for the customer. So make sure it makes sense to the customer why we as a company would put a couple $1,000s of product into their home and only require a one-time activation and just a small monthly fee. And then the last part, which is probably the most important, is the pullback and the transition into the home. You can have a really amazing deal portion of your pitch, but if you don't transition into the home, it's not gonna matter. Oftentimes a customer is going to give you a quick objection or a quick excuse as to why they're not interested or why they can't listen to you at the door. So it's important to have what I call a quick rebuttal ready, so that way the customer doesn't fluster you or kick you off the porch immediately. That might look something like this. Just agree with the customer, address it quickly, and then move on. You don't want to make a bigger deal about it than it is, because most of the time it's just an excuse anyways. So it might look something like this. The customer says, look, I think we're busy right now. That's great. I'll be really quick. Let me just tell you what we've done for a few of the neighbors, and then get right back into the outline of my pitch. So 2 pieces of homework. Number 1 would be write out your pitch, both a takeover and a new installation. And these can just be outlines or however you want to do it, but it has to make sense to you. And the second piece of homework would be take it with you on the doors, and as you're out and about giving your pitch off to customers, make sure you're using it as a reference point to figure out what areas need to be polished up and what areas you're getting stuck on. That way, when you go to your manager that night or other experienced reps in the office, your questions are going to be more specific and they're going to be a lot better. So that way, the next day, you're going to be that much more effective on the doors.